and welcome to our Paralytic Activities, our podcast, your one-stop shop for all things spooky, kooky, weird, and terrifying. Neil,
Terrifying. Where
yeah,
you word from,
I'm
John?
going to change it every week, Neil.
Well, we did ask people to help us out there.
No one bloody
No one
bothered.
bothered, did
So
they?
we had
So-
wacky, we had weird. Now we've gone for terrifying. Next week it could be something else. I don't know. But this episode is all done with an ale or two, because even in the darkest places on this balloon we live on, you need a bit of light relief, don't you?
Balloon, John.
A balloon? What's like a big balloon, eh?
Yeah.
Like a round balloon or a football. We live
Yeah.
on a big football, don't we?
Yeah, true.
Basically, so you need some light relief in the darkest places on this bloody planet. Neil, episode 10.
Already?
Episode 10. That's a milestone, Neil. If you think about it,
You
the
ready?
first 10 is done.
I know, yeah.
You know, it's a landmark.
This time next year, it'll be 100.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully. It's kind of a quick one tonight. So buckle up, because we ain't bloody stopping. I can tell you that. We have a visit from Dead Ed, our spirit guide. The Riddler is going to tell us all about the big cheese himself, the Don, Bigfoot in the Crypt-Id factor. Orange has another true story in Orange Spills the Juice. And in Flick the Screen, we are going to 1980s for a classic horror film, a video nasty Neil, called Night of the Demon.
Night of the Demon.
Yeah. But first, as we are Paralytic Activities, it's time for our Paranormal Ale. Neil, what have we got today?
Well, John, to me, this is probably one of the best companies for ales.
It's up there, isn't it? It's up there.
Brewdog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They started it all, Neil, really.
I know,
The craft beer revolution.
This is Brewdog Lost in Blood Orange, John.
Nice.
I like a bit of Blood Orange.
And mate, it's nice. Nice and refreshing, eh?
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's a vampire's favourite fruit, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been told.
So I'm going to pour it. And I have tried this before, and I bet a lot of people have tried it. And it's 4.5%, which ain't too bad, if you think about it.
Pour it, kid. Let's have a listen. It sounds bloody fantastic.
They had a plane going out, John.
I think it is, Neil.
It's Concord.
I don't know what's going on here.
What's going on, John?
What's going on here? I don't know, Neil.
I tell you what a drink this is. Have you made it yourself?
It's already kicking in.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yes.
Neil, give us a rating
What a
on the
beautiful
old.
taste.
Give us a rating on the old
It's
ale
a
scale,
beautiful
please.
taste. Can't beat the taste of orange, John.
You can't. So I've been told anyway.
I just want to get that one out there. Yeah, John, I'll tell you something now.
Yeah.
This is probably my favourite Brewdog I've tried, I'll be honest
Better
with
than
you.
Dead Pony?
Yeah.
Better than Punk IPA?
Ooh,
That's a bold statement.
that is really nice.
Better than Elvis Juice?
Yeah. To my taste, anyway. There's something about it. It's beautiful.
It is nice.
Beautiful.
But I do prefer a bit of Elvis.
And I will give that a 4.9 out of 5, John.
Bloody hell, Neil. You can't get better than that,
You
people.
can, John.
You can't get better than that.
You get 5, John.
You can get 5, you're right.
Yeah, really nice. Taste of blood orange. Nice, smooth texture.
It's a lager,
it's
so I'm only
4.5.
going to give it 4.3.
You're taking a piece?
No, 4.3 for Brewdog Blood Orange. It's nice. That's a good score.
Not in my books, it ain't, Johnny boy.
It's a good score in my book. Now, if people are watching on YouTube or watching this now on YouTube, and I'm turning around like a piece of wood because I've got a bad neck, and I'm off my tits on cocoa them all.
What was you going to say then? Cow.
Cocoa them all, Neil.
Not
Yes.
to be sniffed at, John. Not to be sniffed at.
Anyway, let's go straight into the comments from last week. Last week's episode, Ghost Pirates of the Cannabeer. Neil, comments. What have you got?
Right. Our good friend, John, because he always comments and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Simonois 41.
Yeah.
Great fun as always, chaps. Your podcast always makes me laugh. When you wound Neil up like a clock to laughing faces, yeah, keep it up.
Yeah. And sometimes Neil does. start to stutter, and it looks like he's malfunctioning. So we
Yeah.
have to give him that little spark to get him going again.
Yeah. Also, we got a lovely comment from our good friend Hayley Hoodwink, who always listens to our podcast and always comments. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Woke the dog up. I was laughing so loud. 3 times clapping emojis.
Oh, that's 3 of them. I'll take it.
Yeah. Thank you, Hayley. Thank
You'll
you,
do for us.
Simon.
You'll do for us.
Thank you so much.
Gina Morley, Neil. She sent me a comment on last week's show. It seems to take a while to upload onto the TV on YouTube. But I always look forward to your episodes. I love art, Neil. That beats 3 claps. That beats the clap, that does, kid.
I don't know.
That beats the clap. But because of you, we put it on YouTube a couple of days later, just so people can get more hits on the older podcast, if you know what I mean, on the podcast source. Our good friend Neil, a top contributor she is now, Neil.
Oh, she is.
Hayley Summersgill. She says, perfect evening ahead. Let me start that again.
Let me wind him up.
See your lips moving.
Oh.
Perfect evening ahead. An early night and a few vinos, wine, with you two and then the Ouija brothers. Sounds like a bloody orgy to me.
I know.
What's going on, Hayley?
Right?
No, she just said, no orgy, just the wine.
Oh.
Or just the one of the
Yeah.
two.
What was you whining?
And she also sent me another comment on Bookface.
Yeah.
It was not MySpace, Bookface.
Oh, yeah.
What more could anybody want? Orange's banana turning into a ghost. Well, it's been dead for a while. Orange's banana turning into a ghost. And she put, well, it's been a while now, so she knows you well. And to Killer Donuts, because we talked about the film last week.
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
we? Attack of the Killer Donuts. She says, I've got a question for the podcast. As I'm still fairly new to horror films. If you could only watch one scary movie for the rest of your life, Neil, what would it be?
You asking me the question?
Your name's Neil, Neil.
Oh, yeah.
Your name's Neil. His name is Neil, by the way.
It was Return of the Living Dead Part 2, John.
Why part 2, Neil?
Is that
Why part 2?
I just love the Michael Jackson bit, innit?
Oh, so you don't love the film, you just love the Michael Jackson
yeah.
bit.
Now, anyway, Part 1 and Part 2, John. I will get Part 1 because it's
That's
brilliant.
You can watch both. You can have
Honestly,
a double feature.
Everybody's never watched them 2 films, and you want a good laugh and you want a good a bit of a gory horror flick. It's
comedy horror, isn't it?
It's superb,
beautiful. It's a beautiful movie.
Superb.
Neil, have a guess what mine is, Neil?
Yours.
Go on, have a shot in the dark.
Is Zombies Dawn of the Dead by any chance?
Correctamundo. Zombies Dawn of the Dead from 1978. The George A. Romero bloody classic, Neil. Changed my life, it did.
You know what,
I can't say a film could change someone's life, but it changed mine.
We need to watch it because I ain't seen it for years.
Oh, I love it, man. I still have the music now. The gonk is from it.
I know, yeah.
Our theme tune, Neil. You know what I mean? But yeah, great questions, great comments. We did have another comment, Neil, off the Warsaw Mothman.
Right.
Yeah, but I've lost it.
How can you lose it, John?
But I remembered it. That's the main thing. If it's from the Warsaw Mothman, I dare not forget, or he'd be launching me over the fence. He said, I love listening to you while walking down the canal. Top notch, lads. 4 claps.
4 claps?
I think so. I just made the claps up.
Well, the Warsaw Mothman, what does he do, John? He goes around the streets, cleaning up the streets.
Yeah.
He's like a superhero.
He is. He's cleaning the streets now.
John, I went past the street yesterday, coming here, and somebody left a fridge freezer on the side of the bloody road.
A fridge and a freezer?
Yeah, fridge freezer all in one.
Yeah.
Big, tall thing.
Yeah.
Does my head in, John.
Neil, I thought that was a telephone box. I was trying to ring me.
No.
I was trying to ring me dad.
I opened it up. There's nothing in it. I was very happy, I'll tell you.
Anyway, Neil, let's get on with the old Podus Castus. Like I said before, our good friend, Deadhead, he's joined us. He's up here now, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there in the corner of the Boodog Tavern. He's our spirit guide, and he's joining us tonight to tell us all about the Skirrid Inn, Neil.
Oh, yeah.
in the Brecker Beacons. So Dead Ed is talking to me right now. Can you hear him, Neil?
I'm deaf as a post.
Yeah, he is. That's why I don't talk to Neil, because he's deaf as a post. He is now talking into my good ear. Ed, what you been up to this week, kid? Hold up. He said he's been hanging out at the Reading Festival, Neil.
Christ, he likes his festivals, don't he?
He does. Where was he last week?
He was at,
He was at the World Cup, Neil. Not
the
really
World
a
Cup,
festival.
all right. But he gets about, don't he?
He does. Well, Neil, he's a ghost. He can go where he pleases. He's got no boundaries. You know what I mean? He can go anywhere.
He put the Oval next week.
So, what was you doing at Reading Festival, Ed? He's just talking again into my good ear. He says, if you look closely on the TV, when Wet Leg was playing live, a big fuck-off beach ball bounced across the crowd. Now, Eddie's saying that was him. He was body surfing naked, doing keepy uppies with the ball, Neil.
Whatever.
Ed, tell him.
You're full of shit, Ed. Full of shit.
Anyway, Ed, you dirty get.
I can see through you.
I'm sending you now, pal. Get ready, because you're going. Get off to the Skirrid Inn in Abergavenny, or whatever. Abergavenny. Yeah, that's it.
Where is Abergavenny?
It's easy for you to say.
Abergavenny, John.
It's in the Brecker Beacons, Neil.
Where's the Brecker Beacons?
It's in Wales. It's in
Wales.
the Highlands, but all the trees and everything are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which kind of sits well with tonight's show, people.
Yeah.
As I haven't mentioned, I did mention we're going to do the Crypt-Id factor, but we are going squatching tonight, and I've got my hat ready to go squatching, as you can probably see. Gone squatching.
John, remind me of my mate. That does.
What?
He owned a farm.
Yeah.
And he put loads of carrot seeds there, right? And within a year, there was thousands of carrots, but everyone looked like an orange vibrator, John. And he had to
Really?
He had to close the whole field down.
What is that then?
So all the squatters.
Neil, I said I'm going squatching.
Oh, sorry. What's it, squatting?
No, squatching. We're going after Bigfoot, Neil. So I wonder if there's a Welsh Bigfoot, Neil.
I don't know. What do you reckon? What do you reckon it'd be called, John?
I don't know. Big Leak.
Big League.
Yeah. unless his porn name.
Ah.
If he was a porn star, of course. So Neil, yeah, Ed's just telling me he's now at the Skirrid Inn. Fire away, Ed. We're all ears. Well, I am anyway. It's the oldest public house in Wales. The Skirrid Inn has a colourful history, he's telling me now, dating back to around 1110 AD.
1110 AD.
1110 AD. Neil.
Jesus
That's long ago. That's long ago, that is. When the first of over 100 hangings was recorded in the building.
Bloody hell.
Bloody Nora. I thought, they'd have a jukebox.
What was that old, John?
Like maybe a pinball machine, but, public hanging.
Well, that's all they had to do them days.
Live entertainment back in them days, Neil.
You know what I mean?
Live entertainment. Now, the Skirrid Inn is the home of several spirits, Ed's telling me now, and it's a long-held reputation as the most haunted pub in Wales.
Oh, yeah.
We've never been, Neil.
I'd love to go on.
We've never been. It's got to be on the old bucket list.
It's got to be, John. How far is it, reckon?
I don't know. It don't really matter, Neil. It don't really matter. But it is standing in the shadow of the mountain for which it is named. The inn's first floor was used as a courtroom where people who committed serious offences were given capital punishment.
Okay.
So Ed's telling me now that anybody who fucked around, they got hung, basically.
Bloody hell.
On the end of a bit of rope. Have some of that. Now, according to local legend, more than 180 felons were hanged until death from an oak beam over the staircase outside the courtroom. Markings from the hangman's rope can still be seen on the staircase today.
Bloody hell.
Imagine that, Neil. It's still there from all that time ago. Things like that fascinate me. And that journey was on about. How far is it? It doesn't matter. That's worth the journey alone.
John, you know
just
to
see the rope burns.
You know what I'm like. I'll still remember one thing in my head.
What?
I went to a museum in Devon.
Yeah.
And it was they had some birthday cake from about 600 years ago.
Yeah.
Still there, John, in the cabinet. And I was fascinated by it. That was somebody's cake. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
I know.
Was there anything? Was it a whole cake, or had
It was
some
just a
chunks been took
slice.
out of it?
A slice.
A slice.
Slice of cake.
You should have got plastic.
No, John. I tried it.
Just left crumbs left. Now, in the 17th century, hanging Judge George Jeffreys, hanging. What was that? Big George. You know what I mean? Did he have a big hangman's noose or something? You know what I mean? George Jeffreys is rumoured to still stalk the upper floors of the inn, looking for people to condemn to death. Now, records show 182 people were hung in the building from the same beam that runs over the top of the staircase. Most of these souls are trapped here forever. Cheers, Ed.
Tell you what, them beams have seen some shit then, either, John.
They ain't off. You know what I mean? So Ed's telling me now he's got a spirit with him. He's got a spirit with him now. He's got a spirit called John Crowther. He was a sheep rustler.
John Crowther.
Yeah, he was a sheep rustler.
Right.
What do you reckon a sheep rustler is, Neil?
Sheep rustler?
Yeah. What do you reckon someone who rustles sheep?
I don't know. Is it a sheep that wears lycra and big boots and fights and stuff? Is that a wrestler or rustler?
Now, a sheep rustler, Neil.
Oh.
Did he just go up to sheep and like shake them on the head? Or what did he do? What did he do?
No. Is that his job?
Yeah, he just rustled sheep.
Dirty. Yes.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you can say you're a sheep rustler, Mr. Johnny Crowther,
See,
but we know exactly what you're up to.
Sheep shagger.
Yeah,
That's what it translates into.
But the spirit of John Crowther has been seen several times on the property, more than likely with his trousers around his ankles. The dirty get. However, not all spirits in the Skirrid are malevolent. There's friendly entities, such as Father Henry Vaughan is a local clergyman, and he is settled in the house, Neil. Why, I don't know. But Eddie's telling me now, if you smell Werther's Original and hear the ghostly rattling of sweet wrappers, Henry Vaughan is in attendance. If he's hearing rattling, that could be John Crowther, the dirty, get the sheep rustler. Get him mixed up there. I can tell you that. And he's also telling me now that there is another ghost called Fanny Price.
And what does her smell of, John?
Not Werther's Original, I can tell you that. There is also the spirit of Fanny. How would you know? It's been a while. Eh?
I remember. I still smell it now, John.
Scratch and sniff. There is also the spirit of Fanny Price, a woman who worked in the inn during the 18th century and died of consumption, aged 35. What was she consuming, Neil? That's what I want to know.
No.
You got someone who's a sheep shagging. You got a clergyman who likes to eat Werther's Original. And you got someone who died of consumption. What was she consuming? So I want to know. So another thing I'm thinking about. Sorry, Ed, I'm just stopping you there. So you've got John Crowther. Crowther, remember the name. Yeah. You've also got Fanny Price. Oh. Yeah, remember that name. So put them two together. Neil, what you got? You got a spirit called Crowther.
Come on down.
Come on down. The price is right. Leslie Crowther and the price is right, Neil. That's what you've got right there.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, yeah. Now, old Fanny Price was buried at the local cemetery. Though her spirit is known to like a room 3, Neil. And she often appears along with the smell of lavender. So there you go. She doesn't. Yes, she smells of lavender, Neil. Not Fanny.
Well.
In one disturbing episode, a female guest came running downstairs with her hair wet and wearing nothing more than a coat, Neil. Screaming, "She tried to kill me! She tried to kill me!" She had her head held down under the water while she was in the bath. That was Fanny Price.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. There's no need for that, is there?
Right.
You know what I mean? Anyway, that is most of the ghosts at the old Skirrid Inn. Oh, hold up. I forgot, Neil. Ed's telling me. Sorry, Ed. Sorry, Ed. He's also telling me now, in another terrifying encounter, when a former landlady of the inn tried to sell the pub, she would experience all kinds of poltergeist activity. There's no levitating going on here.
Better not be, John.
all kinds of poltergeist activity on viewings of the property. In particular, glasses were smashed and thrown around the kitchen. Other ghostly occurrences in the house, the powerful scent of perfume, glasses flying, like you just said, without being touched, and the rustling of a lady's dress, Neil.
Right.
We know where the rustling's coming from.
Yeah.
Johnny Crowther.
Yeah. So if they
The
rustle,
sheep rustling bastard.
That's what I mean. So rustling.
Yeah.
So what?
It's a noise, Neil.
What are they sheep made of then?
They're made of wool, Neil, don't you know?
But you don't. You want to hear the rustle sound, would you? She just said rustling in a lady's dress.
Yeah.
So is the lady's dress made of sheep wool?
No, Neil. It's the sound. The sheep rustling was people who stole sheep.
Yeah.
So Crowther was not shagging them; he was stealing them.
Right.
Yeah. And the rustling was not the Werther's original rappers from old Father Henry Vaughan. It was the rustling of a lady's dress, Neil. So there you go. Anyway, thanks, Ed, for that.
Cheers, Ed.
What you up to this week, pal? He's just telling me, Neil, right now. He said him and some of his ghost friends are going LARPing in Cannock Chase. Do you know what LARPing is, Neil?
No.
It's when people dress up in medieval clothes and use wooden swords and wooden pickaxes and wooden shields and wooden balls on a rope, and they fight each other, Neil. The pretend fight, medieval style. That is called LARPing.
So if you get to Cannock Chase this weekend, you'll see wooden swords, wooden this, wooden that, just flying about the air, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Good weekend.
Well, it is the dogging capital of the world, Neil.
Yes, true.
So, yeah, he said he's going LARPing, Neil, and he's going to go and scare some doggers. That's what he says. So, Ed, I just want you to do us one favour before you go. Can you go and find out about the Cannock Chase Crypt-Id? The legend that is Barkman.
Barkman. Who's Barkman, John? You do the Barkman. You do the Barkman. Wave your hands from side to side. Do the Barkman. Him.
No, that's the Barkman.
Oh.
Come on about the Barkman. Is the Crypt-Id of the West Midlands, Neil?
Oh, the tree bark.
Yeah. Is a Crypt-Id who's covered in tree bark and like branches and leaves and stuff like that, and no one finds him because he's in the trees, Neil. He just looks like a tree, and he's the local Crypt-Id. So there you go.
Jesus Christ.
Cheers, Ed. I'll see you next week. Well, sorry, I won't see you next week. I will send you, Neil, because he's a ghost. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Neil, we're just going to take a little wee break. So remember last week, it happened again. People can hear you talking through the break. People, we're just going to take a quick break. We can have a quick beer, have a quick slash. Neil,
I want to tell you something.
You can tell me.
I'm getting weirder and weirder. Honestly, I know I batting for the other side when I say this, John.
So,
but I'll tell you in the break anyway.
Okay. Just please, I've sorted it out. I rehearsed it with Gemma. It's all fine. They couldn't hear us talking, so no one's going to hear us talking. So I'm just going to put out a bit of a carp diem on and break.
Oh God.
What now?
I tried to entertain myself.
Yeah.
You know, by myself, but no chit chat. Yeah. Which is a bit sad, really. You know, I ain't a bad looking lad. Really.
You ain't a bad looking lad, I can tell you that. You are.
I am, cheers, John.
You are a good looking, you're my brother, you know what I mean?
I've got to tell you, right, what I did the weekend. I think I'm losing the plot. I put some shaking back on the carpet.
Yeah.
Because I was going to Hoover it up, obviously.
Yeah.
So I got the Hoover out, and believe it or not, John,
That's what it's for.
Believe it or not, I was watching the MTV.
Yeah. What
comes on? I Want to Break Free by Queen. So I thought, I checked me, Dad, upstairs. H! Dad! No response.
Well, he is deaf.
His chair was upstairs. I thought, that's it. Locked the doors, paused it, right? I went and got me some black masking tape.
Yeah.
Right. Meadow black moustache.
Did you?
Yeah. Right. I had to have a skirt on, John.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
whatever.
No, it was in the wash. It was in the wash. And I got one of my old Halloween wigs.
Yeah.
At the door. And I put it, and I was like, 1, 2, break free, and I round me tracky bottoms up. I was there with the start. And the wig, like Freddie Mercury in the video. Like,
Yeah.
You know. And I was singing at the top of my voice, like, you know, I really enjoyed it. Did you? You know, it just got a bit of stress there. And
You do know you got cameras in the living room.
Yeah.
No. The whole family, because we got it set up for me, dad, we? Everyone that can. Now, because we didn't know it existed, so we can actually go onto the recordings and find it.
Seriously.
So if I do, Neil, I'm going to put it on I'm going to put it on our Facebook page.
Yeah. When you do, I'll tell you something. We'll have to get somebody else to podcast with you. We'll have to ask the Mod Man or Ailey Woodwing or Ailey Summergirl. Right? To the podcast.
Right, Neil, we need to get back. Take a drink, because you're going to need it for the next section. And we are back, Neil. I enjoyed that little break there. I hope no one heard your story.
I'm a bit stressed out now, John.
I really do. I hope it were. I hope no one heard that story. That was hilarious. I'd have loved to see that with my own two minces.
John, you might be able to. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna have a look through the cameras.
Right, let's get on. It's time for Orange Spills the Juice. Now, good old Orange here, or Neil, or Rebel Ned, more names than bloody Apollo Creed, is the most unluckiest person on the planet. He's the most clumsiest person on the planet. He's the only person, I know I've said this joke before, Neil, but I do like this joke. He's the only person who can walk down the street and it can rain fannies and it still end up with a dick in his mouth. That is how unlucky he is. Neil? You've told me you've got the wood swinging incident. Tell us all about it.
I just told you in the break.
Did you?
Oh, the woods. Oh, yeah.
John, don't forget microphone.
I was going to say that. I'm sorry. I went to, when I was a kid, John, I think I was about 12. We used to go on our BMXs that way.
Yeah.
So I went to Lily Woods on my BMX. Yellow Skyway wheels, John.
What's a BMX, Neil?
BMX.
A BMX.
Yeah, yellow Skyway wheels.
Good rapper.
Riding up and down these hills in the woods, doing jumps, flips.
I doubt it very much.
John, I was the bollocks, mate.
It was the Tony Hawks of Gower Street.
And flips and all sorts. And in the middle of the woods, we found this huge tree, John. And on it was a swing. It was like hitting the jackpot for us. It was like, yes! Throw our bikes on the floor. At that age, it was just like, as I say, it was like hitting the jackpot, you know,
yeah,
because you love a good swing down, yeah, into the woods and what have you. So we all got off the bikes and we was having to go on the swing, John, which went pretty high, to be honest. Like a dickhead, as I was, I thought I'd have a go on it and try and jump off the swing.
Yeah.
So I'm like doing 30 foot in the air, John, you know.
30 foot?
Like the pirate ship. Right.
Like the dive bomber.
Yeah. So I put my arms inside the rope instead of holding the rope, like. So as I went up, I just dropped from an height, poof, like a big egg, you know. Flat on my face, landed on both my wrists, going forward. I had spraying both my wrists, John. So going forward, what happened? I had spraying both my wrists.
So both your wrists were knackered?
It was like that.
Yeah.
And I sprained them both. Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
And I couldn't get up. Or everybody's laughing at this stuff. They don't realise how injured I was, basically. Everybody's laughing their fucking tits off. I'm crying my eyes up. I can't get up, John, because I can't lift myself up.
Yeah.
So I managed to roll onto my back like a fucking Ninja Turtle. And I was crying, absolutely, John, crying my eyes up. And I looked through the tears, John, and I could see a man with a big dog walking towards me. And the dog was one of these one with big lips and spit all over his round his mouth. You know, one of them, what they call, John?
Was it Mick Jagger?
Like I don't know what they're called, John. Them ones with the spit everywhere and the big
like a St. Bernard?
Yeah, rolly faces.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I was helpless, and I'm like, oh, shit. There's nothing I can do here. Suddenly, this dog and his tongue, like the slide in a wacky warehouse, covered in spit, started licking my face, John. Right. Right. So I'm crying my eyes up. He's licking his mouth and everything. I couldn't do nothing about it.
You was French kissing a bloody dog.
So I couldn't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? I should have put my tongue away, I'll be honest with you. Anyway, the bloke grabbed his dog like,
Why was the dog wearing lipstick?
He was, John. He had his pink lipstick out and all that. He was having a great time, he was. Anyway, he's licking all my face like the slobber John, it was hanging off my ears, off me nose. Everybody's pissing themselves laughing. You know what I mean? And I'm still crying because I'm in that much pain, like, you know. Anyway, I managed to get up, like, and I look like somebody had just gone for bukkake shoots. But yeah,
like
I
a
had,
melted candle.
yeah, I had sprained both my wrists, like, you know.
Yeah.
And that had to get me home, like, I think my dad come and pick me up, actually.
But off the floor.
Well, and that's it, really. But yeah, that was another true story that happened to me.
So how's your wrist now?
I'm all right, John. You know, very flexible.
You're ambidextrous as well, are you, by the looks of it?
Yeah.
So there you go, people. That is another true story from our good friend Orange or Neil or Rebel Ned. More names than the devil.
I know.
Neil, got another one for next week for us. Everybody loves a good, funny story.
Quite loud, you know, I've John.
Yeah.
I've already said aloud, but the people who listen to the podcast, I don't think I've ever heard them.
And on that bombshell, Neil, it's time for the Crypt-Id factor.
All right, me man.
Our good friend Luke One Tech, the Riddler Walker, is going to tell us all about the Don, the Big Cheese, the Goat, Neil, the greatest of all time, is going to give us his opinion on the big hairy bastard himself.
No, you don't.
I don't mean David Bellamy. Bigfoot, Riddler, take it away.
All right, me mons. Welcome back to the Crypt-Id Factor. As always, strap in. We're off to the Pacific Northwest to meet this legend, the big cheese, the big dog. It's Bigfoot. Now, obviously, we all know who Bigfoot is, but for yo lot that ain't never been out your house ever in your life, Bigfoot is a massive, fuck-off, airy bloke thing that wonders about having blurry photos took of himself. There are plenty of hunters are out looking for him, but he's just too good at hide and seek. Now, I've got a couple of questions here, and I'd like some answers left in a comment somewhere, please. Number one, why do Bigfoot hunters try and lure him out with mating calls? What is the end goal for this? What's their game plan for when he comes barreling out the woods with a raging hard on? And that leads me on to my next question. Has he got a human dick? Or one of them rocket things like a dog? Some say he stinks rotten. Some say he just wants to be left alone. And who can blame him? I'll say he's a legend. But what do you think? Let us know. Ta-ra, me mons.
Well, is that what they do?
What?
Try and lure him out.
Yeah, with a mating call, Neil, like a squatch call. It was something like this. I told you I've got my squatching hat.
You know, but when Germany invaded, he was soon out, all right.
Well,
Fucking air
well,
right, sorry.
Well, you can hear like knocking on wood on the trees. I wonder what he's using.
I know.
His red rockets. That reminds me, Neil. I bought that new Bigfoot alarm clock yesterday. Sorry, not Bigfoot. It was a Sasquatch.
Okay, now.
I apologise for that, people. But, you know, we can all do jokes, can't we?
You know,
We can all do jokes.
Well,
anyway, Luke, Riddler, One Tech, bloody brilliant description there on our Bigfoot himself, the big cheese, the goat of the cryptids, Neil. He's been around longer than ever.
What do they call him, the big cheese, Sean?
It goes back to his red rocket again.
Well, is that what
do you know what I mean?
Him out with sex toys.
They should learn him out with some garlic bread. You know what I mean? Or a
See,
breadstick. Or
food always gets people out, John.
Or a fondue set.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Or a razor or something. You know.
Anyway, like the Riddler was telling us, a Bigfoot is commonly referred to as Sasquatch. Is a large and hairy human-like mythical creature to inhabit forests in North America, particularly in the Pacific Northwest, Neil. Now, Bigfoot is often described as large and muscular, or human-like, covered in black, dark brown, or dark reddish hair. Is roughly 6 to 9 feet. But some people have said he's 10 to 15 feet. He's one big bastard.
John, they're getting mixed up here. They're getting mixed up.
Yeah. Now, some observations describe Bigfoot as more human than ape. So he looks more human than ape. So he's a big hairy bloke. Now, particularly in the face, Neil, his face looks like a human.
Yeah.
In people's descriptions. Now, in 1971, multiple people in Oregon filed a police report describing an overgrown ape, and one of the men claimed to have sighted the creature in the scope of his rifle, but he couldn't bring himself to shoot it, Neil, because
What?
it looked like a bloke.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Now, common descriptions include broad shoulders, no neck, and long arms, and many skeptics attribute to misidentification of a bear standing upright. Now, some alleged nighttime sightings have stated the creature's eyes glowed yellow or red. It's yo coming from a rave again, eh? However, eye shine is not present in humans, which I didn't know that, or any other known great apes. As for proposed explanations for observation eye shine off the ground in the forest include owls, raccoons, or possums. Neil,
Possums!
I knew you was going to come out with a diamond
I love
reference.
diamond. I love them. God rest your soul.
Yeah, rest in peace.
I love diamond already.
Now, Michael Rugg, owner of the Bigfoot Discovery Museum, claims to have smelled Bigfoot, stating, "Imagine a skunk that had rolled around in dead animals and had hung around in the garbage pits. I used to work with someone who smelt like that.
Was he a chef?
Unfortunately,
Oh, fuck's sake, John.
now the enormous footprints for which the creature is named are claimed to be as large as 24 inches. Some footprint casts have also contained claw marks, making it likely that they come from known animals such as bears, which have 5 toes and claws. So they're saying it's a bear, Neil. They're saying Bigfoot is a bear.
It's a bear.
I ain't having it. It's a barefoot. I'm not having it, Neil. Bigfoot
No.
exists.
It does. I think it does as well.
Now, on July the 16th, 1924, an article in the Oregonian made national news. A group of gold prospectors and a group of 8 men in the gorge. There was like a fight between the gold prospectors and some 8 men in the gorge near Mount St. Helens, not the one in Manchester. The prospectors reported encountering gorilla men near their remote cabin, Neil. So now they're gorilla men. They're not bears. Bigfoot's a gorilla man.
No.
Now, one of the men, Fred Beck, indicated that he struck one with the creatures with a rifle, and that night they reported coming under attack by the creatures, who were said to have thrown large rocks at the cabin, damaging the roof and knocking Beck unconscious. So there you go, Neil.
It exists. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bigfoot in the Andersons?
I have, yeah.
Good, eh?
It's brilliant. Now, humans have been mistaken for Bigfoot, with some incidents leading to injuries. In 2013, a 21-year-old man in Oklahoma was arrested after he told the law enforcement he accidentally shot his friend in the back while their group was allegedly hunting for Bigfoot. Now, in 2017, a shamanist wearing clothing made of animal fur was on holiday in North Carolina when reports of alleged Bigfoot sighting flooded in. The Greenville Police Department issued a public notice not to shoot Bigfoot in case it kills someone in a fursuit. So there you go, Neil. Old Bigfoot himself. The Don, the cheese. You know what I mean? He's everywhere. Everywhere over North America, everywhere else South America. It's all over America, Neil. You got Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the Yeti, the abominable snowman. You got White Fang, the fuck monster.
Jesus.
Do you know what I mean? It's never ending. It's never ending. And there's going to be some more. Guaranteed.
You reckon?
Yeah. So that leads us straight on to, what does it lead us on to, Neil? You tell me.
Is it sound flick of the old screen, eh, John?
It is a flick of the old screen. I'm just going to bring this up right now. Neil, do me a favour. Sip that milkshake. My favourite section, the movie section, Neil. The movie section. Now, I like to start the movie section with the horror shit title. It's a horror movie. that I guarantee Neil has not heard of or even watched. And the movie title is so shit, that's why it's called the horror shit title.
Right.
So I'm just going to tell you what the name of the horror movie is, Neil. Now you have got to tell me what's it all about. The movie tonight, Neil, is called A Chinese Horror Story.
Chinese horror story.
Or as it's called in Japan, a Chinese ghost story.
Bloody hell. Is it... How old is it, John? This film?
I have no idea.
Is it old, like?
No. 87.
Bloody hell, it's only bean sprouts. It's got to be... Is it something to do with the noodle man?
The Noodle Man? Who's the Noodle Man?
Well, Chinese and noodles, everything's noodle.
I've heard of the Muffin Man.
The noodle man, or I don't know, some Chinese. I'm just gonna wing it, John.
What, a chicken wing it? A Chinese ghost story? What's it about? What's it about?
It's about a Chinese ghost that roams takeaways. I don't know, John. I ain't got a clue.
Well, I will tell you right now.
I've heard of the Chinese detective.
A Chinese ghost story is a Hong Kong produced genre meddling mashup of romance, horror, and martial arts, and comedy. It's about a travelling tax collector who sleeps in an old abandoned temple. One night, while staying at the temple, the tax collector encounters spirits and demons and ultimately falls in love with a ghostly maiden, the dirty get.
There we go.
He vows to free her from her evil master and teams up with a legendary ninja warrior, Neil.
Seriously.
Now, they're the ghost called Nia Hasong Kishing. It's not a very good ghost, Neil. She's not a very good ghost. She, the way she gets people to possess them, she's got an incredibly long tongue.
Jesus Christ.
And the tongue wraps itself around the victims and sucks out their life essence.
So she's a tongue strangler.
She's a ghost with a big tongue, basically, and she sucks the life out of humans.
Well, she's Chinese.
She's Chinese, yeah. It's called a Chinese ghost story, Neil.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to be from Newcastle.
So she got a long tongue.
That's a nickname. I suck you long time.
Long tongue.
So that is a Chinese ghost story, Neil.
Is any Chinese viewers watching Rally Joke?
Rally Joke, we love you all.
that's
We
it.
love you all. Just gags. Just gags.
Well, there's a right, there's a wrong.
Neil, we need to carry on. We need to move on to Flick the Screen.
Yeah.
And tonight, Neil, we have got a horror classic, a cult classic, Neil.
Have I seen it?
No. It's called Night of the Demon. It's directed by James Wasson in 1983, and it was dubbed a video nasty and banned in the UK till the 90s.
Why?
I will tell you right now, Neil, because I am now going to go straight in to Night of the Demon in a nutshell. Take it away.
You sound like Mark Boner then.
Right, folks. Now, Bill Nugent is an anthropology professor and heads to the woods in Northern California. Dead bodies are racking up all in Northern California. Have a guess who the suspect is? It's only old Bigfoot himself.
Oh, here we go again.
It's old Bigfoot. Now, he meets up with some other Bigfooters or squatchers, and they sit around a campfire telling Bigfoot stories. The story goes like this. A biker, dressed in leather and smelling of bitumen oil, decided to stop off at a wooded area to take a piss. Not on my squatch, yells Bigfoot. He reaches out with his big hairy hands and rips his dick off, like he was pulling a cracker, or in this case, a knacker. Jesus, Bill thought, this big hairy get will eat anything. That same night, one of the squatchers decides to sleep outside in a sleeping bag, even though there's a monster afoot. As he is snoring the night away, sounds like a Brian Ferry song,
Oh.
old Bigfoot picks him up, still in the sleeping bag, and starts spinning him around his head like an Olympic hammer thrower, sending him hurtling into a broken branch, impaling him like a doner kebab nail.
Yeah.
Now, old Bigfoot has the thirst for blood, and one by one, the Squatchers and the Bigfooters meet their maker. We need to go see Wanda, Mad Wanda. She lives in a house alone in the woods. She will know where Biggest Footicus is, said Bill.
That rings a bell, John.
Yeah, Northern Joe's back again, eh? Northern Joe. They meet Wanda, who is mad as a bag of badgers. Where's Biggest, the big hairy bastard? Bill shouts. You leave him alone. He's the father of my child, says Mad Wanda. Now, Mad Wanda was mad because old Biggest Footicus, or he is better known, Neil, Biggest Dickus, banged her in the woods and nutted her, making her pregnant. Now, Wanda's dad killed the baby Bigfoot and buried him in the woods. I've got a Boston idea, said Bill. Let's dig him up. That alerted old Bigfoot, who jumped into Wanda's shack. No, not that. It's not a euphemism, Neil. He's already done that.
Wow.
And he has a full-on brawl with the Squatchers and the Bigfooters. Dropkick, have that. Drops the nut. Gives the old two fingers to the eye. Old Bill takes it square in the face. Basically, tears them all a new arsehole. Blood and guts everywhere. Don't fuck with Bigfoot. Everyone dies apart from Biggest Dickus and Wanda, and they live happily ever after. Roll credits.
What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster?
Is it a monster?
No, it's a Bigfoot.
It-
What's
it's
that
Biggest-
coming over the hill?
It's Biggest Footicus, Neil.
Biggest Footicus.
That's who it is. Neil, episode 10, DUN, done.
Yeah.
Have some bloody that. I love a bit of Bigfoot, mate.
And me, John?
So does the Riddler, our cryptid expert. So, yeah, episode 10 done. Any last words now before we rock up the show?
No, John, I've enjoyed that. You know, old Bigfoot, you know, got to keep him his name alive, eh, John? You know what I mean?
You have, yeah. Even though he does exist now, because I've got a theory on old Bigfoot, and I'm going to share it with you right now before we end the show. I believe that in America there is so many cave systems, there is so many holes under the ground, and the forest goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Yeah, I believe, right, because us as human beings, we like to exaggerate the truth. If you go and catch a fish, a 2-foot fish, when you're at the pub, it's now 10 foot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exaggerate the truth. You got a 3-inch penis. In the pub, you got a 10-inch penis. Humans like to exaggerate the truth. So when they say they've sort of 10-foot ape-like creature with glowing eyes and fangs, they might have saw an ape or a bear what live in the cave systems and just look a bit fucked up.
True.
Do you know what I mean? So we have exaggerated the truth and give it a name, Bigfoot. So there could be some Bigfoots out there, but there might not be kind of cryptids. They could be just like fucking mad bears and mad monkeys who live in the cave systems. You never know, Neil. There is too many sightings. There's too many people saying they've had an encounter with a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. Are they all mad? Majority of them. What majority like Mad Wanda?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then again, there might be some genuine ones, Neil.
Might be. And nobody believes them.
Now, on that bloody bombshell, people, please, if you have got this far, leave us some comments, like I keep saying, or questions, or anything you want, anything that you want to add to the pod, we will gladly do it. Not a bloody problem. We love listening to the comments, don't we? We love it.
Are we ending the show now?
We're ending the show now.
Well, so what time is it? I'm going to watch a film. My mate asked me to watch this film, John.
What is it?
It's about Eddie Stolbart, you know, the famous lorries and all that, like. You know what I mean?
One of you, a skier?
No, Eddie Stolbart.
Oh, that's Eddie the Eagle, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
No, maybe I've seen lots of trailers. On that bombshell.
Now, on that right there, we're going to end the show. Thank you, people, for listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching if you're watching on YouTube.
Yes, thank you very much again.
Now,
We do appreciate it.
like we say every week, to all you ghost catchers out there, to all you cryptid stalkers, or you alien twitchers, or you head scratchers, if you are out investigating the paranormal or the weird and the wonderful this weekend, and you don't get any spirits, just do what we do. What do we do, Neil?
We drink them instead.
We drink them instead. We may see you next week, but more than likely, we'll see you the week after. Have a good one, people.